Morning, everyone. We're just going to give another minute for folks to log on and get some critical mass, but thanks so much for joining us today. We're really excited to talk to you about our residential new construction program. My name's Bryn Oakleaf. I'm the EN program manager, and Tim Yando is the residential new construction program manager, and Steve Spatz is our key account manager and energy consultant within our supply chain team. So I will let them kick it off. By way of just orienting yourself, if you haven't already been familiar with Zoom, toolbar is at the bottom. You can use a chat box or raise your hand to speak. And we certainly want this to be an engaging conversation. So don't be shy. And we look forward to chatting with you about our new program. So thanks for joining us. Tim, if you want to kick it off.
Morning, everybody. Okay. Morning, everybody. I'm Tim Yando, and just a real short intro. I've been here at Efficiency Vermont as the program manager for the residential new construction program, really only since October. Before that, I was with CVOEO with their weatherization program, one of the state's weatherization assistance programs. And before that, I was a builder for many years, building and doing renovations and building high performance homes. So I hope to partner with many of you with this program and, you know, bring all of my experience to this program, which is undergoing a lot of changes, as some of you might know. So I'm going to share some slides with you, and we'll get right into it.
Great, we can see that just fine.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna go over the residential new construction program as it is now for this year, and just explain briefly the changes that have taken place and what's in place now. And then Bryn and Steve will get into membership into the Efficiency Excellence Network and the residential new construction trade ally group within that, and the benefits of being a member. And at the end, we also, if you're willing, we have a brief survey we'd love for you to take about the webinar. So where I'd like to start with this is with kind of big picture background for you to keep in mind as we're going forth describing what we're doing with the residential new construction program. And basically it's this. Net zero is coming. So this is, if you're not aware of it already, in the state's climate action plan is for homes by 2030 to be net zero, or at least net zero ready. And that means making some changes from where we are now, iterative changes in the code to reach that. And what we really want you to know is that our role here, one of our big roles here, is to help all of you get there. This is not a theoretical idea. This is something that's in process. It's been in process for a while. The next iteration of the RB's code is in process right now. So I just want you to keep this in mind in the background, that this is very much in our thoughts as we're designing the program going forward. So what some of you may be familiar with is what we've done in the past, and which is our work and our support of the building industry has been very project centered. So our incentives and our services have been focused around enrolling projects in our program. And we had recently 2 levels of certification for our homes, our EVT Certified 2.0 and our High Performance Home Standard, which has been around for quite a while. And that program, for programs that, for any of those projects that enrolled before the end of last year, 2021, those projects are still in process and are still eligible for those incentives and services until the end of 2022, at which point that program will completely sunset. And that program has been a very successful, but also very intensive in terms of our technical support to homeowners and builders. And part of the reason that we're restructuring things is that it's become very much less cost-effective way for us to deliver those services. Obviously, we are responsible for and accountable for the ratepayer dollars that we spend in order to deliver all the services at EVT, and so we're having to really rethink the way that we've been delivering these services and to do it in a way that's more cost-effective and efficient. The one caveat to that is that our low-income offerings from that program, the previous program, will continue on. So we're moving from a project-centered approach to a builder-centered approach, and this is where the EEN, the Efficiency Excellence Network, comes in. So we will continue to provide the excellent energy consultant services and technical services that we have been providing all along, but very much more directed towards the builders and through the Efficiency Excellence Network, and specifically through this new residential new construction trade ally group. So all the incentives and services and EEN benefits will be available to builders through this program. And again, the low income RNC program structure will continue unchanged for the time being. It's a very small part of our budget and our program, but we wanted to make sure that those were still available. So here's the basic setup at this point. In order to access the residential new construction services and incentives, we are asking builders and developers to become members of the Efficiency Excellence Network Residential New Construction Trade Ally Group, RNC TAG. That's a mouthful. It's not hard to do, and we've set it up basically there's sort of two tiers of membership. There's the EVT Residential Construction Professional and the EVT Certified Builder. And Steve and Bryn will go into the details of those two different tiers a little bit later. So you enter in on one of those levels based on your past building experience and certification levels. And then what becomes available to you through that is you will be assigned an account manager from EVT who will be there to basically help you with technical support and anything else that you need. And we have at the beginning now several incentives that are measure level focused rather than whole home focused. So any project that you're doing will qualify for this first tier of incentives, which is the first is for drain water heat recovery. So that will cover 50% of the cost of the equipment up to $400, and balanced ventilation equipment. So based on the sensible recovery efficiency of the equipment, either being high efficiency or very high efficiency, we have two tiers of incentives available there. $350 for the equipment at 70% SRE and 80% SRE at $700. And we're asking that this equipment also be on our qualified product list, the QPL. And if you come in as a builder at the EVT certified builder level, there's another set of incentives that are available to you. We're offering a new home certification level we're calling EVT certified 3.0. It is, again, reflecting the fact that code is going to become more aggressive in terms of energy efficiency standards. We've developed a certification standard that's above code, which is the 3.0 level. And with that, we're requiring that this will be a self-certified process, basically. So the builder developer will basically fill out a checklist verifying that they have covered all the specifications, but we are requiring a HERS rating to be done. So there will be a pre-drywall inspection, final inspection, and then a rating. And that we're going to offer through several third-party rating companies that we have contracted with, rather than our energy consultants doing it. Our energy consultants will be available to you for technical support, but they won't be doing the pre-drywall inspection, final inspection, and the rating itself. But we're offering to help offset that cost a rebate or incentive of 50% of the cost up to $750. And if your certified home also fulfills all of the all-electric criteria, there's an additional $500 available for that. Over here on the right, I've put here, because people are probably wondering, what if you're not an EEN member or you're a homeowner builder? Homeowner builders used to be able to enroll projects in the RNC program. The only way that they can do that now, which is what this little thin arrow denotes, is if you're a homeowner GC and you want to take advantage of the RNC offerings, you would need for the builder that you're working with to become an EEN member at one of these levels. That's really the only way that they would be able to access those. If they don't do that, if they're not an EEN member or just a homeowner builder who's not part of the EEN, we still have available technical assistance through a code assist, a residential tech assist, by contacting our support team, and also to help find a contractor, referrals for ratings, and then also all of our EEN training curriculum is available to anybody. You don't have to be a member to access those. And then also just a lot of technical resources that we'll have available online. I'm just going to pause for a second just to see if there's any questions so far, if you're seeing anything, Bryn.
Thanks, Tim. We did have a question with some acronyms, so just kind of refreshing what
Okay.
DWHR, drain water heat recovery, stands for. So it may take a moment just to pause and say EEN is the Efficiency Excellence Network, RNC, residential new construction. TAG is Trade Ally Group. We usually just say RNC or EEN RNC, but
yeah, that can get a little confusing. Yep.
There are many groups. There are many groups within our network, so that's why we refer to it as a Trade Ally group. And QPL is Qualified Products List, and HERS is Home Energy Rating. I think that covers the acronyms.
Okay. Yes.
This sheet so far, but we'll certainly make a point to try and say to say the full phrase before we use the acronym. We do tend to get into some loops there, so apologies.
Yep. Yes. My apologies if I didn't call those out as I was going forward. It's very easy to get lost in the acronym jungle.
We have another question while we're pausing. Tim, do you have a sense of what out-of-pocket costs might be for the owner or builder after rebates and incentives?
For
out-of-pocket cost after incentives and rebates.
For the rating?
For the homeowner or builder. So for a project,
the ratings cost, Adam, are you? I think maybe that's what he may be looking for.
Yeah, I don't quite understand what the question is.
Services.
Yep. Yeah, we base the rating rebate on the fact that an average rating is somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500. So the incentive will not cover the full cost of that, but it'll offset at least half of it.
Great. That's it for the moment.
Okay. All right, and here's just again just a summary. So again, within the residential construction, new residential construction trade ally group, again we have these two tiers: the residential construction professional and the certified builder. So these first two incentives are available to both tiers. Again, the drain water heat recovery, DWHR, 50% of the cost of the equipment up to 400. And balanced ventilation, again, we have our qualified product list. And so any equipment that is used that's on that will fall into one of two levels, either high efficiency or very high efficiency based on the sensible recovery efficiency, the SRE. So those are $350 and $700. And then at the EVT certified builder level, again, home certification is available. A rating is required for that. There is a rebate or incentive available to help offset that cost up to $750. And then any home that meets the all electric criteria is eligible for another $500. And so these two incentives, the rating incentive and the all electric, are tied to home certification. And just real quickly, this is the EVT certified 3.0 building specification. This is a step up from the EVT certified 3.0 and also draws from the high performance level, but is not quite as aggressive or ambitious as the high performance home tier that we used to offer. So I won't go into all the details here. We do have a more detailed document which will be available online soon that goes over all the details of the build spec. We also have a few construction drawings to sort of demonstrate some examples of how to go about particularly the wall and foundation insulation, and again going through each of these items. But as you can see, it's a step up from code and a step up from the certified 2.0 that we offered previously in our old program. And put another way, you know, it's either your residential building code or your high performance, you know, your house on performance enhancing insulation and equipment. So I'm going to turn this over to Steve and Bryn to talk about the Efficiency Excellence Network and the RNC Trade Ally Group. And if just let me know, you guys, and I'll advance the slides.
And there was, before Steve hops on, there was a question about, are the incentives only for new construction?
Right now, they are. The intent in the future is to make the balanced ventilation and the drain water heat recovery incentives also available for existing homes, but for right now, they're just for residential new construction.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks. And as I mentioned in the response as well in the chat to that we existing homes rebates are kind of channeled through our efficient products categories, which is including, you know, heat pumps, mini splits, ducted heat pumps, et cetera. Those are all through the supply chain, and then also the home performance program where we have rebates for insulation and building envelope improvements.
And Tim, can you just share the status of the loading these incentives into the rebate page?
Yes. So right now that you mean online?
Correct. Yep.
Yes. So that is still, that's in the hands of marketing right now, and it's in development, and that we are hoping will be available and online in the next couple of weeks.
Great. Thanks so much.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, Tim. I'm going to go through our EEN program overview, kind of give you an idea about why we've made this switch to working with you all through this EEN Trade Ally network, and then talk about the specifics for how this it lands with our eligibility for builders and new construction. So Tim, jump to the next slide, please. So EEN structure. So Efficiency Vermont's EEN has been our primary way of engaging with contractors and construction professionals for about the past 7 or 8 years. It's a network that has built itself out over time as we've expanded our programs and services into different categories. And for us, it's been a way of not only providing the best references and connections to construction professionals, to homeowners and business owners, but it also for us is a way to maintain a high level of engagement and connection with our trade allies, give you an opportunity to distinguish yourself in your market from your other competitors in your market, and give you access to some enhanced opportunities and marketing through your association with Efficiency Vermont. So as I mentioned, the EEN itself began really with our home performance contractor network, and with when we started our heat pump programs, our heat pump rebate programs. And since then, as I said, we've expanded significantly to keep up with the different product categories that Efficiency Vermont is involved with now, and the different technologies that we're trying to promote and move forward. So we have contractor groups. You'll see on this page here are all of the different EEN categories that we have right now. The contractors and designers and specialty services are kind of the trade ally contractor base. So we have balanced ventilation trade group. These are companies or individuals that are and have experience in installing balanced ventilation equipment. Electrical and lighting. Home performance, HVAC covers a lot of different technologies and product categories, and we have specific criteria for each of those. Refrigeration is kind of focused around commercial refrigeration contractors and systems, and then our new construction program as well. And then we also have a trade ally group for building design professionals. So this includes architects and engineers, lighting designers, and in the past year, the latter half of 2021, we also started a ground source heat pump program, and we have a trade ally group for both drillers and installers of heat pump equipment. And then our midstream network. So midstream is the term that we use to define how we offer product rebates through point of purchase through the distributor network. So meaning how contractors get access to rebates on heat pump water heaters, mini split heat pumps, ducted heat pumps, wood stoves, lighting, refrigeration products. Those are all the different things that we engage with distributors and suppliers with in the EEN as well. We can jump to the next slide, please. So the way that this network works is in order to join, we have it's a participation agreement between the member and Efficiency Vermont, and that participation agreement really covers the terms of what we're seeking out of our trade allies in being a part of this network, and then also outlines what the benefits are and connection is for Efficiency Vermont with you as a business owner. So we have a general agreement which covers all of our EEN trade ally groups as kind of an umbrella agreement, and then individual agreements and specific eligibility criteria for the different trades. So in doing this, we try to, again, the intent of the EEN is really to be a distinguished contractor network here in the state. We have a unique construction industry that does not have licensing requirements for the majority of the trades. And, Efficiency Vermont is not in a position to be licensing or verifying contractors, but for what we can do, we do want to distinguish those in the different trades that have their businesses in a direction that align with Efficiency Vermont's goals and objectives as well. So, for architects, you have to be a licensed architect here in the state of Vermont in order to be a part of that trade group. Whereas, doing residential design, you're not required to be licensed in Vermont. Our HVAC trade groups, we do have specific industry accreditations that are required for different trade groups that you see listed here, depending on the product type. Home performance, that program has been around for a long time, and that is a program that requires BPI certification. So for what we wanted to do with our direction with the RNC program is really try to align an EEN that meets the residential builder, and trades network at where you're at, and try to be accommodating in a way that supports the type of work that you're doing day to day, whether that is new construction, whether that is renovation work, whether it is an addition. That's just kind of how the residential construction market works here in Vermont. Is you end up having a lot of different project types that you get involved with year over year. So we want to be able to work with you where you're at on the type of projects that you're on. That's why we're working now in the direction of measure level or measure based incentives, rather than you have to do a whole project to meet all these criteria and it has to be all in or nothing. So our goal here with those measure level incentives is to evolve them and grow them with time, so that they can be kind of an a la carte sort of setup where you can take benefit of those offers on whatever type of project you're working on right now. And at the same time, we also want to acknowledge the value of having an Efficiency Vermont certified homes, criteria and program that we've historically carried, and that we've elevated over the years and had a lot of success with many of you in that program over the years. So we still want to maintain that structure. I think you can jump to the next slide, please, Tim. You can jump on to the next one. So how we've set this up then is, we previously had 2 tiers of eligibility in our RNC program, which for RNC EEN, which has been around for a few years. That program had 2 tiers based on number of projects completed in our RNC program, and high performance versus base 2.0 criteria. So what we've shifted to as far as 2 tiers now for our builders trade groups is construction professional and certified builder. So the certified builder group is the group of builders and construction professionals who have to this point worked with us in our RNC program over the past few years. And we've used our Efficiency Vermont 2.0 criteria and high performance homes criteria that we've had in place since about 2018 as kind of the ground floor for having builders join at the certified builder level. So that's a way for us to continue that association and recognition of builders who are going above code, have stayed engaged with Efficiency Vermont over the years on new construction work. And then we also have now this construction professionals group, which is a way to engage with other construction professionals, other builders who maybe aren't building new homes right now, or maybe they haven't built a new home in a few years. But we want to give you and those builders the opportunity to be acknowledged for the work that you are doing, give you an opportunity to be marketed and recognized for for working in alignment with what Efficiency Vermont's goals are. And for us as well too, we want to be able to provide to consumers some level of proficiency in regard to the work that those contractors are doing. So for this construction professional tier, we are requiring a validation of proficiency with the RB's standards. So in order to join that Trade Ally group, we are requiring that members who or people who want to enroll to take a quiz, a 21 question quiz that covers the basics of building science and is specific to how the Vermont residential building energy standards work. So that is that's the base eligibility criteria for joining at the construction professional level. Certified builder, many of you on this call, I'm sure, have received some outreach from us already at this point, because we proactively did do outreach to builders who have worked with us in our RNC program over the past few years and have successfully completed programs with us. So you received the offer to be able to enroll in the EEN based on that past performance with us in that program. But we do also offer some other pathways to join that. So if you have not built a new construction project that was enrolled in our program over the past few years, but you have a third-party certification from either BPI, if you're LEED certified, if you're Passive House certified, NGBS, other professional accreditations in the market, and you can pass the RB's quiz, you're able to join at that certified builder level as well. We can go to the next slide, please, Tim. So before I jump into kind of the general requirements, I'll pause here to see if there's any questions or if anything that's come up in the chat.
Again, just asking for clarification on some of our acronyms. So RB's is Residential Building Energy Standards.
Yes.
And question on where we can find information on drain water heat recovery products.
That is going to be, I won't speak for Tim, but once we have the rebate information up online, that the general parameters around the product eligibility and qualifying products will be on that rebates page as well. Correct, Tim?
Yes. We don't have any of those devices on the qualified product list yet. And as I understand it, there's actually only a couple that are available in this area. So yeah, that's kind of a work in progress. But there is some good information about what is it? The power pipe, I think, is the most readily available.
Yeah, we have power pipe and eco drain are kind
there
of
is
the two.
Information about that available online. Yep.
Yeah, power pipe and eco drain are kind of the two product manufacturers out there. It's a plumbing product. Frankly, you're replacing a section of your waste pipe from showers with a copper tube that has your supply line of copper tubing wrapped all the way around that. So basically, you're passively collecting heat energy from the waste stream of water coming down the drain. Canadian codes require drain water heat recovery, and not uniformly, but enough so that there's a manufacturing and market for drain water heat recovery. And right now, the most accessible product is the power pipe, and it's sold through Home Depot, actually, so you can buy it from Home Depot online. So yeah, there's more. If you want to seek more information and about that, then those would be the two products to look up online: Eco Drain and Power Pipe. And once we have the rebate information up on the website, you'll be able to get oriented to it there as well.
Great, that's it for now. Thanks.
Okay. So general participation requirements for being in the EEN. We basically require that you have a certificate of insurance. So we need, general liability coverage for you and for your company. sign the participation agreement. So again, we have the general EEN participation agreement and then a specific RNC Builders Trade Ally Group participation agreement. So it'll be 2 documents that you'd be signing. And we, again, depending on which tier that you'd be joining in the EEN, taking the quiz would be a prerequisite to completing the participation agreements from us. So if you haven't completed an RNC project with us since 2018, then the first step to become an EEN member would be to go online, and we'll put the link to where the training and quiz is located in our resources on our website. So that would be the first step, would be to go there, take that quiz, submit that to us, and then upon us receiving submission of the, you haven't taken the quiz, we'll reach out to you with the participation agreements and get you rolling on that. We'll do an overview training with you, basically to just kind of go through what the EEN is about, member benefits, ongoing annual maintenance requirements for the program, which are basically, we require that you get continuing education credits reported to us annually, and that's 8 continuing ed credits a year. And those annual credits, those continuing ed credits, really for us are a way to stay engaged with you and keep you up to speed with new products and technologies and building science. As we are offering trainings, you know, a big part of the EEN is that we provide a lot of training content throughout the year. And that is a combination of Efficiency Vermont led training by our energy consultants and engineering teams, by partnering with manufacturers and suppliers in the construction trades to provide content as well. And then also we do, I think, a really good job of listing a lot of external trainings that come across our paths throughout the year as well. So the continuing ed requirement is really, we hope to make it as easy as possible for everyone to meet. The goal is to just ensure that we're all moving in the same direction as far as continuing to stay up to speed on things. You do have the benefit of being able to attend the Better Buildings by Design conference, either free for 1 day or half price for the full conference by being an EEN member. So it's just sustained engagement really is what we're seeking. And also a sustained valid certificate of insurance annually as well too. Our member year runs April to April. So usually, this time of year, we're reaching out to EEN members to remind them of where they're at on reporting continuing ed credits to us and just other re-up requirements. So I just wanted to give you the heads up as far as that being, where our calendar year runs for EEN membership. We can jump to the next slide, please, Tim. So EEN member benefits. So again, the EEN is really how Efficiency Vermont presents to customers, to homeowners, to business owners, our connection to the trades and to the contractors that we rely on to implement Efficiency Vermont programs, and both rebates, incentives, and just professional services. So, the commitment of our EEN members is really to, again, to provide the best customer service, professional services to their customers, work in alignment with Efficiency Vermont's goals, and just basically be supporters of each other, both Efficiency Vermont supporting our EEN members and EEN members supporting Efficiency Vermont's mission as well too. We can jump to the next slide, please, Tim. So what we try to provide to our EEN members is really, we want this to be a network. It's the Efficiency Excellence Network, and really that is for us what we're trying to offer as a benefit to members is to give you connections to and access to other trade allies. You as builders, access to and networking opportunities with architects, with engineers, with heat pump installers, with geothermal drillers, wherever we can make those connections to try to enhance your business and grow your opportunities. And one of the things that we will be getting set up sometime, hopefully in the next couple months, for this trade group would be a contractor call. This is something that we've been doing ongoing for a couple years with our home performance contractor network. Is each month we have an hour call in the first Tuesday of the month, where we just touch base with our contractors, talk about what we're hearing about where things are heading in Efficiency Vermont programs and just out in the market in general. Take time for feedback from members, and just stay in touch. We do this with our HVAC trade EEN members as well now too, on a bi-monthly basis. So every other month we're having a call with them, and we're usually having about a 15-minute presentation from a manufacturer or a supplier or something about a new product, and same sort of agenda, just keeping in touch with contractors. So that's something that we'll establish with this trade group as well, to stay in touch with you and give you a chance to communicate with us on an ongoing basis. The trainings piece I've already mentioned, a lot of opportunity for Efficiency Vermont trainings and external trainings as well. Marketing, you'll get a swag packet from us, so you'll get a nice looking hat, some cool gloves, a t-shirt, which hopefully you enjoy that, and ways that you can use Efficiency Vermont's logos and branding to co-market and co-brand with us. And we also offer cooperative advertising support in that regard. So we'll cover half of your ad costs if you're cooperatively marketing with Efficiency Vermont as an EEN member. If you're doing an ad in a local paper, a radio ad or read, we'll help cover the cost towards doing labeling or stickers on your vehicles if you're putting the EEN brand on your trucks or trailers as well too. So we'll cover up to half of that cost, up to $1,500 annually as a member benefit. Depending on where we go with some of our incentive offers and other programs as they evolve with time, some of our other trade groups have access to the home energy loan, which is a really good financing opportunity and program for homeowners to take advantage of to install efficiency measures. And again, as we've noted from the beginning here, the way that we're evolving access to rebates and incentives that are going to be impactful towards new construction and just the residential construction market in general are going to be channeled directly at and for exclusively to Efficiency Vermont EEN members moving forward. Jump to the next slide. So how do we enroll? Again, you can go to our website and go to the Efficiency Vermont EEN section of our Trade Ally website, and you can kind of go through everything we just talked about here in more detail there. You can submit an interest form there where we'll get back to you with the qualifying, what you need to submit to us to join the network. But as I mentioned as well, if we haven't put it in already, we'll put the link to that RV's training and quiz into the chat, so that if you want to just jump into that out of the gate, that'll get you moving along this process here as well. You're not required to take the training or watch that training in order to do the quiz. The training is there basically to help you if needed to pass the quiz. You can reach out to myself directly, to Bryn, to Tim, or any EC that you've worked with previously on projects. Feel free to reach out to any of us. Once you do become enrolled as an EEN member, you will have an EC consultant assigned to you as your account manager. So that will be your point of contact with us, and that's really the intent for how this works. Is you have a regular point of contact for you to reach out to here at Efficiency Vermont to help you with whatever it is you're working on. We're here to try to, again, with the evolution of the EEN, meet you where you're at and be able to evolve our programs and services that will best support your business for whatever direction your business is going. So that's what we're trying to make happen here. And I hope this evolution of the RNC program and this move into a more impactful EEN will be of benefit to you and to where you're heading with your businesses. And as we continue to work towards what the state is setting out for goals and moving towards net zero, and us all contributing to those goals. So happy to take any questions from here, and anything from the chat to touch on.
I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what Steve was saying, in that our relationships with you are really important. We've took a lot of feedback in the design of the new program, but I also want to emphasize this is a very new program and it's going to evolve, and we're going to take your input very seriously, and we really encourage your input on the current program, ideas of other things we can incentivize, the training curriculum in the EEN, anything like that. Please let us know how we can be helpful to you as we're going forward. And the intent here is to just continue to expand on this model. And so we're going to be really looking for your feedback and market feedback in order to continue the design and effectiveness of the program.
Steve, are there any other slides? Okay, just contact information. Great. If you want to just leave that there.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. It definitely is a lot of content there, and we've already had some really good questions. We did get another one. Will RNC include additions?
Yes.
Great.
Yep. So the code treats additions as a new construction, as new building, new home. So that lands in the bucket here.
Yes, along with with gut rehabs as well, many of which will fall into that same category as well.
Yeah, awesome question. And I have dropped a number of links in the chat, mainly to make it easier to find things directly from our page. We do offer energy code trainings and technical support, so please reach out to us to take advantage of those opportunities. We have a page that I offered. When you do visit our Efficiency Vermont webpage, in the upper right-hand corner look for trade partners. And if you click on that link and scroll to the body, under tools and resources, you'll see energy code support, rebates, and a number of other useful links there. We have another question. Does the shift in RNC mean Efficiency Vermont is moving its focus to decarbonizing existing buildings?
Certainly the direction that the state's aiming, to make, on a policy side of things, to make happen. And we're shifting to, heat pump equipment from fossil fuel equipment as a pretty consistent, evolution that's happening out there right now in the market. And I think that's what, as Tim was just saying, the feedback of this group and the engagement of Efficiency Vermont, we're asked by our regulators and by the state and others who are trying to implement the state's climate policy about how best to make these shifts occur in the market. And that's where the feedback of you all as the ones actually implementing this stuff really matters, because this is going to be a significant goal and objective in the years to come, and we need to know how best to be strategically making that happen.
Yeah, which is also part of why there's so many weatherization dollars also available. That's a big part of the equation, as well as fuel switches and the like, in terms of lowering carbon.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and if any of you all want to really, think about jumping into weatherization as a side gig, or like as a, just something new to try, go for it. You got our support. We're gonna need some solid building envelope professionals out there in the state in the years to come.
The need is enormous.
Yes.
And we had a question: is there a good web page to send customers or clients for where to learn more about the RNC program?
It is not up on the website yet. We're a little behind the ball on web content for the RNC, but again, along with the incentive forms and the build spec documentation, there will be an overview of that that will be available on the Efficiency Vermont website very soon.
Yeah, and I dropped in the chat a link to the residential new construction existing web page under services. So as you visit our website, you'll see rebates at the top, and right next to it on the right is services. And there is some limited content, but some content about residential new construction, and that will be updated again in the coming weeks as well. So yep. You're all getting this fresh out of the oven.
Yes, and if anyone has a pressing need for that information, like today, let us know and we can get that to you. It's just not up on the site yet.
Yeah.
There's two other things I just want to touch on here. One was in response to Alan, your question about drain water heat recovery. Happy to talk to you about that in more detail if you'd like as well. But as far as access to the products themselves, really the power pipe via Home Depot is available unless something's changed here just in recent weeks. But you can find that product through Home Depot and purchase it online through them. And then the other thing to just touch on is, one of the things that we didn't really talk about this too much yet, but a significant shift with us in this change in programming is Efficiency Vermont no longer doing ratings, doing the HERS ratings for code compliance. That was a major part of our RNC program. It was also a major part of the labor cost of running the program because a lot is involved with actually, providing a rating and the services involved with it. So that being said, we are still projects that are still enrolled in our program right now that had enrolled through the end of 2021 are still getting ratings done. We are now working with third-party raters, so independent private raters in the state who are actually doing the actual ratings documentation and providing, the full modeling work for the rating on behalf of those people who are enrolled in our program right now. And we are making that, one of the efforts that we're going to be putting forth in 2022 is trying to support the growth of a third-party ratings market here in Vermont. So there will be an opportunity for anyone who's interested in becoming a HERS rater here in Vermont, for us to help you go down that path or help them, look to make a market for themselves for that. That being said, there has been some concern about Efficiency Vermont no longer doing ratings, whether or not there were raters in the state to provide that service, and there are. And, like I said, we're actively engaged with those third-party raters right now in our program, legacy projects from last year that are carrying through. So basically what I'm getting at is if you have questions about access to HERS raters and using the HERS pathway for code compliance, definitely reach out to us. We can help make the connections for you to raters right now, kind of talk through about how that process still can be beneficial. Really the ratings process is, I think, a really great way to work through the code and show compliance for the code, because you get the benefit of knowing that you're moving in the right direction before you start putting a hole in the ground, rather than trying to figure out how you complied with the code after everything's finished and somebody's asking you for a certificate. So yeah, it's just something to note that it's a transition, and it's a significant transition, and it's a growth opportunity here in this industry for 2022.
Great. Thanks so much. I think we're done with questions for the moment, but I'll give a couple more announcements and let folks think of anything else they want to ask before we sign off. Better Buildings by Design. We've mentioned it a couple times. That's April 27th and 28th. This year we postponed it from February to April with a goal of really wanting to make sure we can gather in person and see each other. So we're really looking forward to having that. I did drop a link into the chat, but certainly just by going to our website and doing a quick search for BBD or Better Buildings by Design, we'll bring up the schedule, how to register. And again, if you're an EEN member, you can get access to a discounted one-day pass at no cost or a full conference registration for $90. Most of those sessions have been approved for AIA credit and in many cases BPI credit, as well as some other third-party accreditation. So certainly is a great opportunity to, one, just join us and connect in person, but to get some of those credits. And of course, those training hours will apply to the EEN annual requirement as well.
And hopefully not have to dig out your car in the parking lot.
Yes, and our annual snowstorm that
we've scheduled around a late April snowstorm.
Lastly, if you would be so kind to just take the survey at the end. It is really brief. It really does help us improve these trainings and ensure that we are hitting the right content and the right timing for you all, because we know your time is valuable. So I think that's it. Tim or Steve, did you have anything else you wanted to capture before we wrap up?
I think that's all I had.
Okay.
Nope.
Looking forward to working with everybody.
Yes, indeed. And this, the recording of this will be available on our website under our trade for trade partners and our online training center, where we post a number of our recorded trainings. So thank you again. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really looking forward to working with you on future projects. So have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everyone.